Hey Buju and Dinaway Maganitok, Wab Canoe Indigo. Hey, my name is Wab Canoe, here to give you the first installment of the weekly Young Money Business Plan lecture. So welcome to YouTube. The topic of today is professionalism. So professionalism is basically carrying yourself like a professional. Now this is important because the way that people perceive you can often be one of the key factors in determining whether or not you are going to be successful in business. So if people see that you're conscientious, hardworking, they see that you're on time, that you handle money well, then they're likely to want to do business with you. So those sorts of things are important. But it goes beyond that too, and it also matters the way that you carry yourself. If you're an honorable person, if you're a respectful person, if you're somebody who's active in the community, well, that can count for a lot too. And I can tell you from personal experience that doing work in the community is important in and of itself. But it can also help you down the road, because the people who see you putting your effort and your energy out there on behalf of others, well, they're going to want to consider you for opportunities down the road when they do come up. So that's professionalism in a nutshell. But how do we behave professionally? Well, there's one line that I've heard, and it really sums it up nicely. So basically, being professional is all about living up to this one sentence. And here it is. Being professional is all about being where you said you were going to be, when you said you were going to be there, having done what you said you were going to do. So I'll say that again for you guys. Being professional is about being where you said you were going to be, when you said you were going to be there, having done what you said you were going to do. So basically, it's about keeping your word. If you say you're going to be at a meeting, be there. And not just be there at the time you were supposed to be there, at the time you agreed to be there. Actually, ideally, you'd probably want to be there maybe 15 minutes or so early, just to find the meeting location and make sure that you don't keep the other person waiting. Obviously, sometimes things come up and you're going to be late, but we should always try and be mindful and respectful of other people's time, because time is one of those things in life that you never get back. So 5 minutes may not seem like a big deal today, but if you're 5 minutes late for the one meeting this morning, and then another meeting this afternoon, and another meeting this evening, well, that's 15 minutes of time that you've stolen from your prospective business partners. And if you do that every day, well, by the end of the week, you're talking about hours of time wasted. So punctuality, showing up on time, that stuff is important. And the last part of that professional phrase, having done what you said you were going to do, that's really important too. So if you were going to do a bit of research, if you were going to prepare some letter or some document, then have that ready at the meeting, because that shows people that you're about your business, you're on top of things, and that you're ready to carry forward. And this all helps. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about professionalism, it has to do with appearance. So you see me here today, I'm rocking the little tie, the collar, the little hipster sweater and all that stuff, and the hair is looking okay. Maybe it's time for a haircut. I don't know. But appearance is very important. It seems like a shallow thing. It seems like, it's a trivial thing that, maybe it should only be about how good my ideas are, or, how hard I work. And those things are very important. But the way that you look, it really does matter. And it is shallow, and it is unfair sometimes, but that's the way people are. So you can debate whether or not it's good or it's just, or you can just go ahead and operate accordingly. And so I find that if you guys want to try it out, that's probably the best way to wrap your head around it. And it happened to me about 5-6 years ago when I started working in the media industry, and I started wearing a tie and a jacket to work every day. And prior to that, I was wearing a hoodie and jeans and Nikes. And I noticed that pretty much overnight, when I'd wear the shirt and tie and the jacket, if I'd go out to eat after work, everybody at the restaurant would be like, oh, right this way, we've got a table waiting for you. Whereas previously, when I was wearing the hoodie and the jeans, they're like, can we help you? Not too keen to serve you. Similarly, talking to people on the street, people stop you and say, hey, what's going on when you're wearing a suit, Business environment. You go to a conference wearing a suit, people are like, hey, don't I know you from somewhere? You look important. I should come over and talk to you. It's happened to me time and time again. Whereas if you show up in the business environment and you're wearing more of a streetwear or casual kind of look, well, people may just be inclined to look past you. Again, may not be right, but this is the way that people are. So keeping professional appearance can also be helpful. And again, it's a superficial thing, but a lot of people judge, your conscientiousness and, your ability to control things in part by how well you control your appearance. So if you look out into the world, there are many business people who look sharp and they project a confident image, they project a professional image, and that carries them. Then again, you have some business types who don't look so professional, but they still have a look, and they run with it. So that's the last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about today, about professionalism, is finally confidence. When you hear people in a business environment speak, the ones who are in leadership roles, they don't hesitate. They don't mince words. They speak clearly, they project, they enunciate. I just showed you each one of those terms' meanings as I was speaking there. And so professional communication, professional speaking, that's important too. And part and parcel with that is also respect. So when we're dealing with each other in a business environment, we want to be respectful, we want to be courteous, we want to greet everybody. As soon as you make eye contact with somebody, you should be greeting them. You should be saying, hello, how are you? Making the small talk. Then, if you're in a working group or in some sort of meeting, discussing things with people, well then at that point, it is perfectly legitimate to have a disagreement or a difference of opinion, but it should always be done in a respectful way so that the discussion is constructive and can lead to better things at the end. So it's always, good to use your manners, please, thank you, and stuff like that. And if you are going to be critical, one thing that I've picked up over the years that's a helpful way to offer maybe a dissenting opinion or another way of looking at things is something called the praise sandwich. So the praise sandwich, well, it works like this. Basically, there's a chair there I didn't see. The praise sandwich works like this. So if somebody says something to you that you're not crazy about, well, when you reply to them, first choose to focus on something good about what they said. So you say, well, I like the fact that you're focusing on a solution. And then you get to the meat of your praise sandwich, which is the critique. So you say, I like the fact that you're focused on a solution, but I think we can do better. What I would like to see is, and then you offer your opinion. And then, rather than ending on a negative, then you go back and you offer praise again at the end. So your entire statement would be something along the lines of, well, I like the fact that you're focused on creating a solution. I disagree that your way of accomplishing it is the way to go. Instead, I think we should do yada yada yada, X, Y, Z. And then at the end, bring back a little bit of praise. But I can see from your comments that you're very intelligent, and I'm sure that we can work something out together. So the praise sandwich, again, that's a professional way of offering a dissenting opinion and of working together with people. Now, the reason why we do this is because people often have to work together, even if you aren't the best of friends, even if you aren't necessarily people who want to hang out after the workday is over. You still have to interact with each other, right? Now, why is that? Why in the business world do you still have to deal with people who you may not be overjoyed to be dealing with, right? In some cases, there's people who are very acrimonious or who have a negative relationship, who you will end up with dealing with, strictly because you have a business relationship. So why is it? Well, basically, it boils down to this. Money. Money. That's what brings you together. The fact that there is a possibility to make money together outweighs any sort of negative or adverse feelings you may have. And what is one way that we refer to money in the business world? Well, the bottom line. And for many people in business, the bottom line is the most important thing. It's all about maximizing the profit. Now, this is not the way that we are going to approach things. Rather, we're also going to consider what the impact of our businesses are going to be on the social and also the environmental. So the people around us and on the world in which we live. And we're hopefully going to look at things in a more holistic way. Meaning that yes, we will try and make money. This is young money after all. But at the end of the day, we're also going to try and make the world a little bit better off. And we're going to try and help our mother, the earth. Miigwech Pizindawayik. Thanks for listening to me, guys. We'll see you soon. Kiga Wabamin and Minawa.